Alright, have a wonderful good morning, good evening, and good day to every rando fan who is watching right now. We are here for our semi-final of the ALTTPR League and in the Dark World division. And we will be seeing Game 4 between Team Awesome and the Findrana Drifters. We'll have Hitsuyan versus Megawott. I'll be Bigfoot, and on my side, I'll have the Wolflink 0370. And yeah, welcome.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for having me. Yes, my co-con Bigfoot. So yes, folks, today we have the Dark World Conference Finals here. For Findrana Drifters once again represented in the Pyramid of Power Division versus Team also representing the Skull Wisdom winner. Winner will be moving on to face the Light World Conference champion, Team Kappa, in the grand finals of the Link to Pass Randomizer League next week. And for this today, folks, we have a standard mode race for you today. But, as you can see from our menu, we don't have a randomized sword this time because they have chosen to have randomized swords. As far as the goal goes, though, we have to defeat every boss that has a dungeon on our tracker. It's all dungeons, key sanity. And we are underway.
Yes, we'll see. Oh, just some arrows in the Link's house.
Alright, and because it's key standing, we're not going to get a map check here because the maps do not give us information until we find the dungeon maps of each dungeon. And right off the bat, I'm going to also say this. Because we're doing standard randomized swords, Uncle will have a random weapon for us to go through this gate with. It could be the hammer, could be the fire rod, could be the bow, could be 10 bombs. Or it could be another sword as well. If it's a resource, if it is an item that uses a resource, we'll be given full of it and a refund if we need to reset. In this case, we got the bow, so we have given 30 arrows.
Yeah, and we could have also had the Cane of Samaria or Cane of Burner. There are also possibilities, but bow start is always nice.
And there's the small key to Hyro Castle. That is a required find it here as we are doing them in standard mode. And I'll go ahead and mention here what key standing means. As I mentioned before, the maps don't give us any information whatsoever or until we find the dungeon maps. The compasses, meanwhile, will give you an item count in the dungeon that they belong to. Good if you're a little bit of a newer runner to key standing. And the small keys and big keys are linked to their own dungeons. Why is this all important? Simply put, in a normal seed, those items are normally locked to their normal dungeon. But in Key Sanity, they're all over the world.
And not only the items, but all the keys also. And there are some very important keys, which lock dungeons almost completely, like the Swamp Small Key. So it's always nice to find them.
Yeah, it's also nice to find some bombs here in the escape sequence as we have the standard mode routing here.
Yeah, and also nice to find a glove very early.
Yeah. That glove is peace of mind for Hitsuyan. He knows now that if he gets unlucky with his bomb drops, which Megawott has found 3 so far, 3 singles on the guards, he can just lift the rocks and then come back to the escape sequence at a later point and get those 3 things. He sees that bomb drop there. Should be able to get it before the prize despawns. There's a 4-pack as well, so it looks like the guards are in the bomb dropping group, as will the ropes downstairs.
Yeah, we have the all bombs prize pack for the guards. That's always nice to have.
That is very nice to have. But yeah, one other thing to go in regards to the goal here, folks, in case I was confusing anyone. You can see that we have all of the bosses here on our tracker, Aghanim, Ganon, and all of the dungeon bosses from Light World and Dark World. For all dungeons, every single boss on this tracker needs to go down in order for Ganon to be vulnerable at the end. So, we need all of the crystals, all of the pendants, and both versions of Aghanim defeated.
Yes,
whether or not we have to do Aghanim sooner rather than later being more ideal for Aghanim 1, because we can get that refill before Ganon, is to be determined, of course. We'll see about that a little later.
Yeah, we'll see that later. Maybe we even have a seed where Aghanim is required earlier for Dark World access or Lumberjack. But you already have a glove, so it's only a Moon Pearl and a second glove or the hammer for Dark World access, so maybe... I think we won't see an Aga Seed.
I don't think we're going to see an Agassi for Dark World access. That's very unlikely because, in addition to those item requirements being what we need for Dark World access normally, if we were to have to fight Aghanim, we would need 2 swords, the lamp, the cape, and the 2 small keys to Aga Tower.
Yeah,
but there could be items in Aga Tower that we need to collect first.
Yeah,
like maybe the hammer's up there.
That's very unlikely, yeah. To get all those items so that early. Usually, at least one of the castle tower keys is a real pain in the behind and hides somewhere very inconvenient.
Yeah, and there's a lot of keys like that. As you mentioned, the Swamp Palace small key is one of them. The Desert Palace keys are also up there, along with the keys to Thieves Town as well. There's only 1 small key and 1 big key.
Yeah, we always have the GT big key, which can be at a lot of places. Oh, and there we have our first of 6 pot small keys.
Yeah, and Pod is the most item dense dungeon in Key Sanity, with a whopping 14 items, but a lot of those are locked behind key doors. And
yes,
there is a bit of a logic to the game, which we call key logic. And the best way to describe it, the most basic explanation I could give, is think of the worst ways you, as a runner, would ever use your keys. That is what the logic will assume you use them as.
Oh, there's our next piece of puzzle for Aga, and it's the cape. So it's coming closer.
It's coming closer, but we still need the keys, we still need the lamp, and we still need the sword. So it's very unlikely that it's going to be Aga for Darkhold access. It's going to be more likely that it's Aghanim early for a required item to finish one of the dungeons.
Yeah, maybe some item or a key on Lumberjack. You always hate to see a key on Lumberjack, either whether it's a big or a small key, because there is no way to know which key it is unless you pick it up.
Well, you know what it isn't, because if it's a small key on Lumberjack Ledge, you know that's not a Castle Tower small key. Because otherwise, that'd be a soft lock.
That's true, but you don't want there ever to be a key. It could be a very important, necessary key, so you don't want that. As a runner,
also, Chad is pointing out, of course, there is also Aghanim for just access to the eastern part of Darkhold. We can have everything except the hammer.
Yeah.
That has happened before.
Hammer on the Pyramid Ferry is always a possibility.
Oh yes, I've been there before. Trust me, it's annoying.
Yeah.
Red rubies from the poultry, though. That is a great find for both our runners. They now have 100 rubies for the merchant in Kakariko.
That's very nice. You always want to have that. Ideally, you would find a bottle and the flute as well.
Hookshot, though. I'll take that.
Yeah. Definitely. That's
and
very
Megawott
nice.
is going to save and quit. Megawott might be thinking going to Paradox Game, which would be a bold move here. And with Fendrina Drifters 8 game down, they need to stay alive here. So, might be more willing to take a few bigger leaps in logic than Hitsuyan is.
Yeah, I think Megawatt is going South Shore and hoping to find a bottle or something like a flute before going to Kakariko.
Yeah, I will admire this play, though. It is certainly not a waste of time. Hitsuyan will come here eventually. But at the same time, Kakariko could have something extremely important that our runners need. And Himego will just be there a little bit later. Half Magic, in the meantime, though, is pretty good.
That's pretty
nice.
And
as soon as I say it, there are our boots. But the Fire Rod as well for Megawatt. Not bad find.
Wow, that's a lot very early.
Yeah, boots, though, are unfortunately the bigger thing to find. That gives Hitsuyan the mobility advantage going to Kakariko.
Yeah, but Megawatt...
the game.
But Megawatt will find those boots pretty soon, too. And with all dungeons sanity, we're looking to at least 1.5 hours of game here. So those maybe 10 minutes shouldn't make too much of a difference.
It shouldn't, but at the same time, Early boots can be so much better than not having early boots.
Yeah, especially they feel especially nice.
Titan's
and
boots
there
as
is,
well. Hitsuyan has
wow,
Dark World access.
wow, and there is our third medallion, the Quake medallion, and the book in the Mini Muldom cave. Wow,
Alright,
this
sure.
keeps giving and giving.
Alright, Kakariko is extremely loaded. Hitsuyan making the correct call. Not the. Honestly, there was not a call to make here. Early Kakariko is one of the best opening plays in this.
As a shield, well, you can't really say that any part of this seat up till now is not loaded. We're getting boatloads of items here.
Yeah, that just makes me worried that the keys are in very rude spots to see, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah.
But where will Hitsuyan go next? Looks like they're gonna finish up Kakariko at least. There's another 300 rupees from Megawott. Put a fake delivered. Oh boy, there we go. Castle Tower small key.
Yeah. That's interesting.
So, most likely we are looking at Aghanim for East Darkwood access, or Pyramid Fairy. But we won't know Pyramid Fairy for a long while. That is something that we could, something Hitsuyan can do though, is run all the way over to the bomb vendor, and the bomb vendor will tell us where the 5-6 crystals are.
Yeah, and
that,
wow, I've just seen the Cane of Samaria on the race game.
Wow, great find.
This
also entering town now.
This seat is absolutely stacked on items. Not so much on keys, we just got 3 keys. But
yeah, but those will come with time.
Yeah.
But as I was getting into here, with the bomb vendor from Dark World, you can get information on the 5-6 crystals from him. Likewise, you can get those information about the green pendant from Sahasrara, and that will be added to your map, regardless if you have that dungeon's map or not. That's one of the only other ways to get information about dungeons in the seed. You can't even enter dungeons in Key Sandy because the music is actually shuffled for the dungeons. So you can't rely on your music to say, this is the pendant music, this is the pendant dungeon. That doesn't work.
Yeah, but at the same time, since we have all dungeons, it's not too important to know which dungeon it's which. Okay, we have always the possibility of there being an item in GT for which is required for one of the pendant dungeons, but we have so many items right now, that possibility is really small right now.
Yeah, it's very unlikely that the music will matter, I'll agree to that. But at the same time, knowing which dungeons are a pendant or a compass or a crystal can help you decide which dungeons to dive sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
Because like you said, a required item for Ganon's for one of our pendant dungeons could be in Ganon's Tower this season. The other Castle Tower small key could be in Ganon's Tower for all we know.
Yeah, but concerning the other Castle Tower key, the most, well, cruel location would be Vanilla.
Yep, that would be cruel.
Alright, our runners
now with the book and 3 medallions.
Yeah, they are retracking each other's steps right now, so nothing new at the moment. But I think Megawatt, he'll go to the Dark World from here. He'll do the well, and then the Blind's hideout, and then we'll go to the Dark World. Yes, he will have the mids very soon, and he is in the perfect place to do it.
Hitsuyan needs to be extremely careful. There it is.
Yeah. Well,
those crabs deal 2 whole hearts of damage, and with 1 heart, that meant Hitsuyan was dead on contact.
Yeah. Luckily, Ice Rod Cave was only 300 rupees, which would have been his Zora money, but it's okay to miss that. It will be in his mind always till he checks it, but we know it's not too bad for him to not get it right now.
I can agree to that, but also I can disagree a little bit, because with that money and with him getting Zora money, if he had gotten there, he might have made the call to do fake flippers to get more items from the Zor area. Because he has the Moon Pearl, he can fake a flipper water walk setup into getting the 2 items in the waterfall cave. And I think with the bow and Samaria, I don't remember completely because I don't practice Ancilla tricks for Splash Deletion, but I think that has a setup that you can do in Ancilla Splash Deletion to get to the ledge item. I don't remember though.
He could have done that, but well, it's still out of logic because we don't have flippers, so it shouldn't hurt him too much to not do it.
Yeah.
So, even more since Megawatt also didn't do it.
Well, at that point, Megawott didn't have the Moon Pearl, which made the idea of fake flippering and doing all the tricks not really worth it.
Yeah. And Hitsuyan will show us a lumberjack.
Alright. Is there an important item on lumberjack today?
Oh,
there is a key!
Oh, that was a small key. Yeah, Hitsuyan might have said to himself, oh, already one castle tower small key? The cape? We should better check that.
Also the boots. Hoardercraft's not worth fighting, unfortunately, they only drop parts.
Yeah, meanwhile, Megawatt is went into the Dark World and will show us front of Thieves Town.
Silvers!
Oh, silvers!
Nice
wow.
find, nice! Given that's our main form of combat right now, that is a huge find.
Yeah. At the same time, Hitsuyan will show us the mountain before he goes to the Dark World. This is not in logic, because we don't have a lamp or a flute.
That is true, but dark rooms are kind of a misnomer when it comes to logic, really. If you know them, then there's no point in following that.
There's a Turtle Rock small key. And we have to say, Hitsuyan can do almost everything up here. He can even dip Turtle Rock with that small key.
Indeed. And 2 bottles as well in D-Sound for Megawatt. One with a green potion, one with a bee in a bottle. And that looks like a shield there for Hitsuyan. And yeah, without a hammer, Hitsuyan can't enter Turtle Rock, but can definitely at least check the Hookshot Cave.
Yeah, and possibilities of the hammer being up here are not too small.
Yeah, there's a lot of items in this place, I believe, if I'm doing quick math.
7 here, 4 in the...
I think 14 items total between Light and Dark World, just on the east side alone.
Yeah, sounds about right. And
Flippers.
Flippers.
Seven days for a sword, not bad.
That's very nice.
Meanwhile, we have a small key to Ice Palace, a heart container, another small key to Ganon's Tower, that makes 2.
Yeah, man.
And a compass to Skullwoods. I think I know what Hitsu's gonna play on here, and this is actually really good for him. Hitsu's gonna go up the top of the mountain, but he's not gonna go to Dark World. Just yet.
Yeah, he might go over to Hera.
Oh, he's definitely going to Hera. With the hookshot in hand, he's probably thinking Hera Pot to finish off Moldorm right quick. Although we don't have a weapon for Moldorm, now that I think about it.
Yeah, and Yeah.
So yeah, he's just gonna check the Spiral Cave instead. This is a fine enough way. I suppose I would have gone over and checked the first floor checks on Hera at least. But hey, why double a dungeon when you don't have to?
Alright, and Spiral Cave gives us a blue boomerang.
Right, we can't get it there. Turtle Rock and Tower Hera are the 5-6 crystals today.
That's interesting.
So, no matter what, can't you get the hammer on the Pyramid Fairy at the very least? And Aghanim is more or less delayed, providing that small key is nothing. Oh, and Megawott taking a death there before checking Hype Cave. That is unfortunate.
Yeah. Well, he'll be able to get the Smith to Kakarika now and get into the Dark World again and do the same trip with the purple chest. So he won't lose too much time. Alright, Super Bunny Cave.
2 more items here. Big key to Misery Mire is required.
Yeah, and nice to find.
The only big keys rather that are not required are the big keys to Swamp and Skull Woods. There are no big key doors between them and their bosses.
Yeah. Although there could be items in the big chests. We don't know.
Yeah. Alright, Hosha Cave only giving us 3 bombs to start.
There's a
Small
small
key to Castle Tower.
Wow, the dream's coming true.
And we have the fire shield. Alright, so we can take this a little one step further, I think. Because we know now that Castle Tower small key is either flute or fire lock. And it's safe to say it's probably fire locked at this point, considering it's Aga Tower.
Yeah, we might as well have a hammer on the Pyramid Ferry or somewhere else.
No, can't be.
Well,
Hammer can't be on Pyramid Ferry because Turtle Rock requires hammer.
Oh, yeah, you're right. So, damn. But still, it could be somewhere in Catfish or so.
That it could be. That it can be. With the fact we have the flippers there. But the flippers are locked to a fire source. Or
to the lamp,
or
or the flute. Yeah, and the Smiths are giving us the Cane of Burner.
Not a bad thing to have.
Yeah, opens up Spike Cave. Well, no, we don't have the hammer, but yeah.
We don't have the hammer for Spike Cave, and we also had the Magic Cave for that as well.
Oh,
so really, it's just a weapon we can use against blind if we really wanted to.
Yeah, and there is Powder.
Powder for Magic Bat, always nice to have.
Yeah, we can't access Magic Bat because we either need the mirror or the hammer. But, well, those will be coming.
I do want to point out here on Hitsuyan's screen, you can see this counter below his rupees and bombs. That is the compass in effect for Key Sanity. It's basically just an item counter to let you know how many items are available in the dungeon and how many of them you've picked up.
More rupees in Skullwoods.
That Death Warp was intentional, so...
Yeah. Very interesting. Hitsuyan has the fire rod and still decides not to finish Skullwoods at this point.
Doesn't have the sword to cut the curtain.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it's very easy for us to forget a bunch of facts here because we had to keep track of keys and the items as well. But there's the shovel on Bumper Ledge, and that is available to be picked up.
Yes. And Hitsuyan decides to do so. And that death from Megawott was also intended as a death warp. He'll be going to the entrance of the dungeon quicker that way.
Alright, is he gonna be checking out Village Backcast now?
Yeah, he'll do his Village of Outcast checks and will find his sword on the dig game afterwards.
May not do it for a little while, but we'll definitely be picking up eventually.
Yeah.
And We do have a fire rod, but this is still a very difficult moth fight with the fighter sword, but
Yeah.
does have the green potion from Thieves Town.
Yeah, and half magic helps a lot at this point.
Yeah, and if he's ever in an absolute panic, he can always just tank up with the Cane of Burno or the Hate and just sword slash them off to death.
Yeah. Alright, that is our first crystal. At
First crystal,
20...
24 minutes in, not bad.
Yeah, it's really not bad.
We're gonna be walking back to the dungeon to check everything else. And
Yeah.
don't know what's unpetted yet, but at this point, with the fact we don't know where our pendants are even, that is may not even be an option.
Yeah, the pet is far away.
I mean, we can pretty much say that at this point that there's a chance it's Ice Rod, but more than likely than not, it's a key that we'll need.
Yeah. Depending on which dungeons are the pendant dungeons, it could be a very important key. Yeah, maybe if Hitsuyan finds the mirror before going to finish Skullwoods, he might do a pet check. But otherwise, I don't see that coming soon.
Yeah, we don't need to worry about pet right now.
Yeah, Hitsuyan finding his sword. He'll continue with the smith chain, I think. Or well, at least he'll take the smith and start a world tour with it.
Alright, Stumpy, I think we saw this earlier. What was this one?
Yeah. Yeah, second small key to Skullwoods. We did not see the Hype Cave because Megawott died before. So, new checks incoming. Oh, and Hitsuyan does not check the bomb shop for the red crystals.
It makes sense not to check the bombs though, because with what money's got, he can opt to buy the bombs first after using the 2 here.
Yeah, but he could have checked which are the red crystals because he doesn't know yet.
Blue Mail, Flute, which puts our key, and there's the mirror, which puts here in
Wow! Wow!
Alright.
What a Hype Cave!
Indeed, that is an amazing Hype Cave. Flute and mirror for Hitsuyan. That would have been a huge advantage for Megawatt if he had managed to get his hands on them before dying.
Yeah, he could have had that about 10 minutes ago. That would have been nice.
And the Blue Mail as well, which I think would have kept them alive from any sort of immediate danger as well.
Yeah. Wow.
Hype Cave being hype.
Yeah, and Hitsuyan uses it to check the hobo, while Catfish just has 50 rupees.
And the hobo has a small key to Swamp Palace. That is the important one.
That's a very important one.
Cannot do the dungeon yet, though.
Yeah, we still need the hammer to check more than the first 2 chests in there.
But once we find the hammer, we can full clear Swamp.
Yeah, item-wise, we don't really need much more. We need the hammer and the ice rod, and for logic, the lamp. But we got everything else.
Yeah, but lamp, like I said, is a moot point.
Yeah, well, we need a second sword.
Hitsuyan is gonna check. Oh, we can't because this is technically a connector.
Nah, yeah, he has the smith with him, and the smith don't want to go in there. Yeah. Did he check? Yeah, he checked the pyramid item. And he decides not to go to catfish.
I mean, it's a fair enough call to make. Probably wants to check Graveyard Ledge first.
Yeah.
Then mirror check. Then go to. Yeah, he's probably gonna do Graveyard Ledge to catfish to mirror check the entire Zora's domain. Then do a save warp to turn the smith it.
Yeah, that sounds nice.
If he doesn't do it, there's the hammer.
Wow.
Mirror lock hammer.
This seed.
So item-wise, we need the lamp for logic, and the ice rod. Hitsuyan does have the flute.
Yeah, and we need a second sword, but well, that should be we should be able to find that.
Pretty much the seed is front-loaded with all of our major items.
Yeah, look at the
time.
Now
we need the keys.
30 minutes, and we have all the items we want.
Well, except for the ice rod.
Yeah, ice rod. But in Key Sanity, there are several ice rods, because some keys behave like the ice rod. So, that's not too bad. It is bad, but, yeah.
Slivers now for Megawott.
Item-wise, this seed is insane.
And as a reminder, chat, we will not be in Goma once we find the ice rod, of course. This is Key Sanity. We do need to figure out where all those keys are first.
Yeah. Alright, Hitsuyan showing us new checks. Waterfall Cave.
Big key, the desert, and the red boomerang. Which, ironically enough, is found here in Manila.
Yeah. My god. All dungeons we have here. All dungeons Key Sanity.
Yeah, so we're nowhere near done.
And
we still haven't found the
interesting,
castle. Yeah, our big key here.
I'm just seeing Hitsuyan does not have Zora money. Hitsuyan does not have Zora money.
Ooh, that's kind of rough.
Yeah. He was about 30 rupees short. Could have checked the stun price. I don't know if we've seen that yet.
I don't think we have either. Or maybe he did see it.
I don't know.
But the thing I will mention is he has the shovel. Hitsuyan could have, in theory, attempted to dig up the 20 rupees.
Yeah, and as Chat mentioned, if he had taken the 50 rupees from Catfish, I don't think he picked those up.
I don't think he did it, yeah.
That's...
So, he's choosing to leave Zora alone by choice, which is also fine to play. Hopefully it won't backfire in him.
Yeah.
But at this point, he doesn't need to spend much money on anything anyway.
Yeah, meanwhile, Megawatt went to the mountain before going to Hype Cave.
Stick Kid has the big key to Turtle Rock in the meantime.
Wow. Very nice.
Alright, we're getting there.
So Megawatt won't be able to do much more checks up here than Hitsuyan did. Because he does not have the mirror.
So we're gonna see Hitsuyan checking the magic bat here, which is another trick we haven't seen yet.
Next new check.
I mean, the fact that we have this many items is just absolutely blowing my mind right now.
Yeah, me too.
But it also, for me, it gives me a little bit of extra worry as well.
Yeah, there has to be at least one key which is somewhere very bad, like on pad or somewhere.
Well, no, I'm thinking that the keys are jumbled in the dungeons more so, and as a result, there's gonna be a lot of double tipping and inefficient routing as a result. Just trying to figure out which keys you need to use first and the like.
That's a possibility, yeah. Well, what dungeons can we dip or at least clear right now? We can full clear Maya because we have the big key. We can full clear, well, not full clear, but we can clear desert and leave 2 chests behind. We can clear swamp and leave the big chest.
We could also clear Hera, but leave the big chest behind.
Yeah, we could do a lot in Turtle Rock.
Oh, Hitsuyan did not get the mirror delete.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Megawatt will show us the hammer packs. Oh no, he won't. Yeah, because he does not have the hammer, yeah. That's
yep,
true.
He hasn't been to Graveyard Ledge, he doesn't have the mirror yet. Hitsuyan's gonna start with Desert. And I did talk a little bit earlier about key logic, and Desert is actually a prime example I can give in regards to how key logic works. Basically, in the back, there are some loose small keys underneath the pots. Those are always going to be there because Key Sanity only shuffles the keys you would find in chests, as is the norm with it. As we get a small key Turtle Rock there. So,
There's
in theory,
small key.
one could take its small key from the back and then use it to open the locked door in the front. And the logic accounts for that. So by default, the boss in the back, Lamola's, is locked by the big key and the small key of the desert in terms of key logic.
Yeah, but our runners are experienced enough to normally not steal the key from the back. Oh, and there's our lamp.
The lamp.
So
which
all
now
logic...
puts Aghanim in logic.
Yeah. And Hitsuyan, at least he knows that there's a small key.
Yeah, our runners are definitely more experienced than they want to do it, but even then, the logic doesn't really care about your how good of a runner you are, really. It's always going to assume that you use a small key in the back to open the door on the front.
Yeah.
And that's why this boss is locked behind the loose small key as well as the big key. That's just a very basic example of how the key logic assumes. Because this dungeon is probably the easiest one to explain out of all of them.
Yeah, meanwhile, Megawatt showed us Gary's lunchbox, the purple chest, and the Bombos tablet, both nothing.
Alright, and 1 and 2 silver arrows into the Lambolas, 1 got away. Gets it on the second pass.
Okay,
the Lambolas drop a map to the dungeon as they give you a crystal.
Yeah.
Good job, game! So, hey, you wanna know what the dungeon is? Here you go. Also, here's the item you would have found out anyway.
Yeah, meanwhile...
ridiculous.
Yeah, it is. Meanwhile, Megawatt showing us more overworld checks. Just little and big love, nothing more.
Quake to enter Misery Mire in the meantime.
Yeah, and Hitsuyan decides, I'll go in there. I have the big key. I have everything else I need in here. I'm gonna clear it. Well, Misery Mire, it's 8 checks. So, why not? We even got the silvers for Vitreous, so this shouldn't be a problem.
Indeed. Flute coming online now for Megawatt. And while we have just a brief moment here, as Hitsuyan's going to the interest of Meyer, do want to shout out our tracker, Regaru there in chat, keeping the items up to date. It froze on screen here. Tracker is an unsung hero of the randomizer, and they are probably the most important thing for us here.
Yeah, especially for us commentators, because without a tracker, we would find ourselves nowhere, because we couldn't do our job here.
I mean, I could because I can memorize all the locations, but a tracker definitely makes it easier for me, let me tell you. Definitely a weight off my brain.
Yeah.
So I will not turn down having a tracker help me out.
Yeah, and it's at least it's easier to remember which runner has which items and so on. So having a tracker is priceless. So Megawatt is following Hitsuyan into the Maya area. Only difference, he does not have the hammer, but that shouldn't lock anything for him here.
It shouldn't, but at the same time, the hammer does deal temper damage, so Hitsuyan has a minor combat advantage. But I'd only say a minor one because the hammer doesn't have the greatest range.
Yeah, and on the bosses here, where it makes a lot of it could make a lot of difference. We can use other items on Vitreous, we can use silvers. I think they work on Landmo too. So
yeah, silvers work on the Armos Knights, the Lambolas, Helmasaur after his mask is off, Argus after the Argai are gone, and Vitreous. And all the other bosses don't really care too much about the bow. So just having those silver arrows early as we find the compass to Mr. Meyer are just really good to have early, really. So all those bosses are going to die relatively fast.
Alright, Hitsuyan takes advantage of having the hookshot and will check the bridge chest from this side.
Yeah, we'll most likely fall over to check it from the other side. Or return to the side of the bridge. Smoky to Desert.
Oh, that's nice to find at this place, because he just, after Meyer, he can just mirror and check those two checks.
And then leave out the right entrance to check Agino.
Yeah. Yeah, well, he still has checkerboard cave, so he should
that is
maintain
true.
His portal.
But I think with checkerboard, he can just flute to 6 after checking Agina, and then just go back around if he needs to.
Yeah.
It's going to be really tricky to route that with Desert, is the point I'm getting across here. Or trying to.
Yeah, we'll see. We will see how he does it.
Also, we had another dungeon map in its own dungeon.
And a compass as well. So Meyer, compass, and map were both in Meyer. But other than that, Desert Small Key, Meyer was empty till now. One item left on Vitreous.
And blinking don't miss it. This is why Vitreous is normally guarding one of the 5-6 crystals. Just absolutely shreds. I believe the silver arrows do 100 damage, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And the only reason Vitreous survives is I think he's coded to have like 128 HP or something like that. And
there's our next crystal.
Yep, down goes Vitreous. That's another crystal on the board for Hitsuyan.
Yeah, we now know 5 of our 7 crystals. Because we have
Right.
three dungeons completed, all 3 were crystals, and we know the 2 5 6 crystals. Well, since that both bows were pretty early, I'm going to say as Pod as well as Isan will both be pendants.
Yeah, whichever one of our last 2 crystals are, by default, we'll know where the pendants lay. Although we won't know which one of those 3 pendants is the green pendant. But honestly, what we've got, I wouldn't be surprised after finishing checking this region that Hitsuyan's in. Hitsuyan goes and checks the Pod Eastern for their items. Although,
Yeah.
granted, we don't have we only have 1 small heated pod and no big keys for either dungeon, so wouldn't be that lucrative of a play. I'm thinking more so of regular play.
Yeah, it could be more interesting to go to Ice Palace and maybe go to Swamp.
I don't know. I think at the very least checking Sahasrara is an okay play if you're going to Eastern. And Eastern, you can get most all but the last 2 items, the boss and the big key chest.
Yeah, well, but Swamp and Ice Palace, you can clear both dungeons. Swamp has 10 items, Ice Palace has 8 items.
And there's the big key to Thieves Town.
Wow.
I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see where Hitsuyan goes here. There's a lot of options available to him, but I do agree that Swamp and Ice being clearable is definitely gonna be up there on the list.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's about what we have left in this area. We have still a few checks in the Village of Outcast area. We haven't seen Hammer Packs and Back of Thieves Town, which we have now access to with a big key. And we have Port Eastern area. And then we have the mountain.
We also have access to the tablets, and while we can't get the items on the tablets, we can at least read them to see what they have.
Yeah, Megawott has already read the Bomber's tablet, and there is, I think, a piece of heart on there. Yeah, Hitsuyan is going into Swamp. 10 items in here. We can get 9 of those, because we don't have the big key.
What is with us finding the maps and compasses in their own dungeon? It's almost a joke at this point.
Yeah, it's this seed is very interesting. Loads of items.
Watch us see the map to Swamp as well. No, it's a heart container. Sandcart though.
Oh, that's nice to find.
Yeah, nice full heal before the fight.
Yeah, and Hitsuyan will be able to show us the diver down on the left side swamp. Because he has Zamaria, he has a hook shot. So he
may not go for it, but I wouldn't put it past him not to do it if he does.
Yeah, but if he goes in here and can do it, it speeds up the left side considerably, so you might as well do it. You need so many keys at this point. You should check left side, and then it's the fastest way to do that. To do so.
I mean, he could also just simply do the traditional routing with Swamp, and then once you go to the back first, then go left side and mirror out.
Yeah.
He really does have multiple options here, but I can see him doing both.
Yeah, and we will see the diver down on the left side swamp from him.
All right.
Oh no, we won't. We will see a normal dungeon clear, a normal left side from him. That's interesting.
I mean, this also makes some sense. Diver Down is still relatively new. It's been around for maybe, what, about a month or two now?
Yeah. Maybe
So,
he's not comfortably setting it up.
yeah. This is the Dark World Conference Finals, after all. Oh, he does not want to waste time here to secure a win for his team to propel them into a chance to defend their Season 1 title. And yes, chat, Team Awesome is a returning team. Actually, all the teams in the conference finals were returning teams. But Team Awesome is the defending Season 1 champion team.
Yeah, they only have one replacement. I don't know. I think Ramont joined the team. But who left? I don't remember that. Alright, left side swamp just being a map to something?
And left side was Piece of Heart.
Yeah. Oh, and from Megawatt we'll be seeing Aga Tower. Well, if I don't think he'll only check both chests. He has everything he needs to get up to Aga, so it makes sense to do it in one go.
I agree to that, yeah. Plus, he knows that there's a small key on the lumberjack ledge, so he's probably thinking, I might need that key.
I don't recall him checking lumberjack.
Both runners, I believe, have checked lumberjack at this point.
Okay. I know Hitsuyan checked, but I don't remember Mega. But if you say so, I trust you.
It is a difficult thing to keep track of two runners here. But you get used to it after a while.
Alright, we will be seeing a diver down here in the back of Swamp from Hitsuyan. If executed perfectly, you can save 3 to 4 seconds. This looks okay. Yeah, he got it. But just 40 rupees in those two chests. And I did not see those two items in Aga Tower, but I think it was nothing both.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it.
Yeah, and chat would have screamed if it would have been something important.
Alright, folks, we have a minigame we'd like to play with regards to Aga 1. And this is the only time we're going to be doing it. Aghanim shoots orange shots, but he also shoots these blue shots that we can't reflect. How many of those do you think we're going to be getting?
If all goes well, the maximum can be 15. Because first shot is always reflectable. Second to fourth shot are 50-50 chances, and the fifth one is always the lightning. So
which arcs randomly down across the room, changes every frame, can't be locked in place. Both runners will begin the same pattern, hence we're playing the game.
Well, at least the first time they come up here, they will get the same pattern. But at this point, I don't expect anyone to die up here.
Yeah, blue male, 10 hearts, easily. More than enough health. Argus had a small key to Dark Palace on him, and he is the wielder of one of the pendants.
Yeah.
I believe that is the pendant of wisdom in Link to the Past.
Oh, good for you to know that. I don't.
Yeah, Hera, that's Hera's pendant, and Hera was the pendant of wisdom. And it's strange because you normally would think red is the pendant of power, but no, it's reversed in this game for some reason. Oh, and I never actually guessed when I made when we played the ad game, but I would have guessed too, honestly. I know I'm not just saying that, chat. I actually would have guessed too.
Alright, this looks like nice palace play from Hitsuyan.
It's the Smoky the Swamp. Hitsuyan, meanwhile, is entering Ice Palace, and we may see the other relatively recent trick here allowed at the same time as Dire Down, the Icebreaker, and this one saves so much time. I wouldn't be surprised if Hitsuyan didn't practice this one and knows it.
Yeah, I've seen this one from Hitsuyan, so I know he can do it. Alright, next map.
Map the swamp, as if we heard after we've just finished swamp. What is with the maps in this scene? It's so redundant.
Well, I was hoping for the map to Ice Palace, but still some tracks left in ice.
Alright, we're seeing the Zora area here from Megawatt. Reminder, folks, Hitsuyan was up here, but he did not have enough money to pay Zora. So if Zora has something extremely important, like a big key, then this is actually in Megawatt's advantage that Hitsuyan never comes back to Zora.
Yeah. Because for Hitsuyan, Zora would very late check at this point. He has very much isolated it. Oh, and Hitsuyan having some problems with Icebreaker.
And Zora has a small key to Ganon's tower.
Oh, that's... We already have two
that
of those.
can be avoided.
Yeah, we already have 2 of those, and 2 of those are all we need. Because there are some in the chests, on the pots in there, so...
Yeah, and even then, the 4th small key... If you're being smart about your key usage in Ganon's tower, if you even need them to check the basement at that point, you just don't open the center door. So, you only need 3 of the 4 small keys to Ganon's tower. So, Hitsuyan is perfectly safe at this point. It may be a worry in his mind for later, but it's a worry that he doesn't necessarily need to have.
Yeah. But speaking of Hitsuyan, he really has trouble with setting up the Icebreaker at this point. He's trying for over a minute now. Still hasn't got it.
There he goes.
There he goes.
And a big key to Swamp Palace.
No. Yeah.
So yeah, with the Icebreaker, folks, the movements that Hitsuyan was doing were bufferless, with sword buffers, or rather. Usually you see pause buffers there. Thieves Town, green pendant.
Interesting.
But yeah, if we get the FSC struggle, there's the Ice Palace. Oh my goodness!
Ice Palace and ice. Yeah, well.
That's the 3rd map I think we found in a dungeon.
Compass of Ice Palace and Ice Palace.
What is this scene?
Meanwhile, Agina just had a bottle. This scene is insane. Meanwhile, Sasha just had a 3rd bottle and some hearts, so. But now Megawott goes into pod. He does not have that 2nd pot Smorky, so he can't check too much in here.
And there's the map to Hyrule Castle.
I thought that might be the pot map. Oh, that would have been...
So if Ice Palace ends up being the 3rd pendant, then we know that Eastern and Palace of Darkness are the remaining 2 crystals. Otherwise, either Eastern or Pod is the 3rd pendant. Or, yeah, the 3rd pendant and the 7th crystal.
Yeah, and Megawott gets kind of bailed out because he finds a 2nd pot small key in pod.
Good. That's what you normally would find sometimes in this dungeon. Very common for a pod small to end up in pod. And here we go with the cold stare fight on Hitsuyan's end. Gonna use bombos, which instantly melts the shell.
Yeah, and then he'll have, with half matching and the fire rod, he'll have lots of shots left.
And melting away cold stare, getting a couple of double hits there as well. Triple!
Very nice. Very
Done
nice
and
fight.
dusted. And we get a small key to Misery Mire.
Yeah, well, not needed.
And it's a
at this
crystal!
time. Yeah.
So Eastern or Pod are the last pendant. And the other one is the last crystal.
Yeah, but we won't know that for some time because we don't have the big keys for either Port or Eastern. So both dungeons are not clearable right now.
I mean, given the trend of the scene, just to go in the dungeon and find the map. There you go. Hitsuyan about to get his 300 rupees here that he missed because he unfortunately took a death to one of the crabs.
Yeah, with Flute and Boot, this is a quick check now, and it's for his peace of mind to do that right now. All right, maybe Turtle Rock next destination. Ah,
There's the ice rod.
Oh, ice rod in port. Wow. So Hitsuyan should go to port before he goes to the Turtle Rock.
Yeah, but do you go to pod with only 2 small keys?
Yeah, he'll find a third one, but he doesn't know that. He might.
But yeah, in terms of items now, I'll say this: we are only missing a Master Sword now for our items part of the Go mode, but we are still missing several keys for the true Go mode of this seed.
Yeah, we're missing GT Big Key. We're missing Thieves Town Small Key. Maybe we have the big
We're missing
key.
like half the small keys, basically.
Yeah, Port and Eastern Big Keys. But
actually, I misspoke. When I said small keys, I meant big keys.
Yeah, but Hera Big Key we don't necessarily need. Eastern and Port Big Key and the GT Big Key. That's about it, I think.
Yeah, and based on what we have, we're still missing about half of the keys that we need still.
Yeah, a few small keys at least. A Turtle Rock small key. Oh,
there's that Thieves Town.
So at least some maps are not in their own dungeon.
He doesn't need that map though because he already got the information from Sahasrara.
Yeah.
What is the scene in it? I'm sorry. This scene has been so redundant with its maps. This scene is like great on the item front, but terrible on the information front.
Yes. Well, but the key placement up until now is not too bad.
Yeah, I'll agree to that. Still has room to get better or worse, though, I'd say.
Well, the really trolleyed keys, we almost have all of the really important ones. Small key to Swamp, both Castle Tower keys. Those keys are the ones that can really be some pain in the butt. Well, Hitsuyan has done his Skullwoods now. Yeah, here comes a pet check. I was just about to say it. So, pet hype.
Might tell us something about the seed. Nope, that
That's-
is a green or a blue rupee.
Yeah. Not really important.
Des has the map to Eastern. Hey! We'll
Right?
know up to here what dungeon we have left to do if Megawott checks his map.
Yeah, I don't know if he'll do that. Because at this point, there is no item that could be in GT. Only maybe keys.
You know, based on the lack of small keys that we have for Pod at this point in the game, I'm feeling like Pod is the third pendant.
Yeah,
And the most of the keys are in Ganon's tower.
might very well be. Well, we still have some places with lots of checks, like Turtle Rock and so, but GT seems, yeah, pretty likely.
Megawott missing the first cycle on Lammola. He's gonna have to get the second one. Unfortunately, getting tagged by the stones. Nice quick double shot there.
Yeah, and he gets his map to desert.
And 3 bombs in the attic, which is humorous because that's where one of the 3 bomb packs is normally found.
The game wants you to be able to bomb that floor.
Apparently. And even then, if you don't open the chest, there's still bombs underneath the pot.
Yeah. To make it absolutely sure.
Unfortunately, Megawott is heading in the exact opposite direction where the hammer is now. For those who are cutting on chat, hammer is in Graveyard Ledge.
Yeah, I think he's going to do Hera and Ether Tablet and so on. I might
Makes
even
sense to
do
me.
Spike Cave. Oh no, he can't do Spike Cave, he doesn't have the hammer.
Master Sword and Thieves Down!
Yeah, that's very nice.
Alright, in terms of items, we know
We're in
where
go
everything
mode.
is.
Yeah, items.
But
we're
of
in,
course, with keys being added to the well, we're not in a true go mode yet.
yeah, we're in item no mode because none of our runners has actually all the
Thieves
items.
Town! Small key on Ether!
Oh wow.
Small key to rogues was the hint.
Yeah.
Mirror shield in the Hera basement.
And I don't remember, but Megawott, did he pick up the... Oh wow. Did he pick up the small key on Lumberjack? I don't think so.
I don't know. But I know one thing's sure, there's the mushroom, so we have a full inventory now across both runners. And there's the green pendant now for Hitsuyan.
Yeah. Now Hitsuyan is going to show us a new check, and that is the hammer packs.
Yeah, this is one of the features we haven't seen yet.
Oh, it's a small key.
Father to pod? Nope,
Yeah,
Turtle Rock.
No, that's important because it's our third small key to Turtle Rock. And with 3 small keys, you can clear the dungeon and leave only one chest behind. What was that in Hera basement?
It ended up being the map to Dark Palace, so I think
Okay.
now we have all the maps in the game.
Yeah, we should.
I think the only one we're missing is Turtle Rock's map, I want to say.
Yeah, maybe. And I don't know if we have the GT map, but well, they are not so important. I don't keep track of those.
Yeah. I don't think we've seen the GT map either.
All right. What does Muldom have for us today? Now,
Right now, as we see Megawott fight Molder, the saving grace for Megawatt right now is he knows the hammer can't be Turtle Rock, and he knows he can't get into Turtle Rock because there's no hammer.
yeah, he might go check Ice Palace for the hammer.
Ooh, that'd be a rip. Silence his heart pieces for our runners, and there is one of the 564 Megawatt. Oh, and I didn't talk about it, but yeah, he's gonna turn in the protest while having the protest follow him. It's kind of weird that what happened, but basically the purple chest still existed in memory, and then when you mirror, it's still in memory for just a few moments.
Yeah,
And in that time, because Hitsuyan was in the trigger to turn in the purple chest when he mirrored, he was able to turn it in.
Yeah, I think it's as long as the iframes go. But I don't know the specifics to that.
I don't know either.
That's Bugnet on the mushroom.
Well, at least we know where it is. But Hitsuyan's not gonna pick it up.
Yeah, but Megawott is going to get his hammer now.
That's gonna be really good.
Yeah.
You can start pounding away at these dungeons.
Yeah, he can do swamp, he can do ice.
So, even though Hitsuyan has more dungeons on his tracker lit up, Megawatt has a little bit of an edge here with the Ice Rod.
Yeah, because
if he takes this and runs into Turtle Rock looking for more items, he might find all the remaining keys we are missing in terms of big keys.
yeah, because Hitsuyan, he's up here and I think he will go into Turtle Rock without the ice rod and go as far as he can, which is pretty far. And then he'll have to do it again later.
And we're seeing what Lumberjack has in store for Megawatt.
Yeah, you shouldn't forget this small key here.
Hitsuyan taking the mirror shield. Smoking a Dark Palace.
Wow. I think that's 5 of all pot keys we have seen now.
I don't think so. I think we've seen...
No, it's 4. We've seen 4.
Yeah, that sounds about right. And 4 is the minimum you need to finish pod.
Yeah. Not logic-wise, but we know. We know how to do it with 4 keys.
Yeah. The logic, of course, requires the very minimum 5 keys for a full clear. The runners no hammer yum.
The logic requires 6 keys because the Dark Maze, the Big Key Chest, and Helmer are locked by 6 keys logic-wise.
Yeah, that is true. In terms of execution-wise, though, you can get away with skipping 1 if you don't know how to hammer jump, and 2 if you do.
Yeah.
To which I happen to be the group in the former.
Yeah, concerning chat, I don't know if the Thief Town big chest could be a bailout for Megawatt, because he knows where the small key is, but he doesn't have the Master Sword to get it, because it's on Ether tablet, and he might go into Thief's Town before getting his Master Sword.
Well, that's the thing. The Master Sword we currently have was in Thieves Down.
Yeah.
So, very unlikely that he gets the Ether tab before then, unless he finds another sword.
Yeah.
To which currently we don't know where another sword is.
Yeah, and we have seen lots of the checks Megawatt can do in the dungeons here. We've already seen from Hitsuyan, so there does not seem to be a second sword available right now. At least not in the checks we've seen.
Yeah, that second sword I believe was in the Maiden Cell, so it's right next to it, basically.
Yeah.
I think Hitsuyan wants to do a slasher. Yes, he gets it. And then a spin. Perfect.
Yeah.
If you did it the other way around, Mulder would have been in his rage state, so good on him for keeping track of that.
Alright. Will he go do Spy Cave now, or will he go over to do Turtle Rock?
He's moving towards Turtle Rock, it looks like.
Yeah, maybe he'll go back afterwards and check. Well, now mirroring out of Turtle Rock is not really possible if you go deep into Turtle Rock. So it might be that he'll come back later to check Spy Cave.
Meanwhile, we do see Gyro down for Megawatt.
Yeah, and he seems to go to the back first and do left side swamp afterwards.
I mean, it's a fine play regardless.
Yeah.
And he'll most likely be full clearing this place, considering that he's still missing keys.
Yeah. All right, what does Turtle Rock have for us?
Oh, it's Ether for Turtle Rock to begin with. There's that. So, reverse vanilla today for medallions. Not that it mattered much because he had all the medallions within the first 15 minutes or so. Small key to Meyer to start things off in Turtle Rock. Megawott attempting double spins. Big Key to Eastern Palace, meanwhile, bound in Turtle Rock.
Yeah, alongside with a map of Skull Woods. So it seems you didn't have all maps already.
Another small key to Dark Palace on Argus. That is going to tie up the small Dark Palace keys on both runners and give Megawott +2 total. So
Yeah, I think both runners have 4 pot small keys right now.
Hitsuyan hasn't been to Aga them yet.
Oh yeah, you're right.
And the other one's inside pod, which he also hasn't been to yet. There's yet another map to Gan's Tower. Okay, now I think we found all the maps.
Yeah, I think now I'm pretty confident we should have all the maps now, yeah. Map mode. Yeah, but that big key to Eastern should drive Hitsuyan in direction to Eastern and Port, and so he should find his ice rod.
Now, in terms of go mode for our runners, we are still missing the Swamp House big key. No, we don't need this. We need the pod big key. My mistake. I misspoke.
Yeah, and we need.
Once that's found, we are in an effective no mode, really, based on the keys we have left.
Yeah, we need big key to Port and big key to GT.
Ah, yes, GT big key, which could just be in the dungeon for all we know.
And to answer a question in chat, yes, Irish gangster, I am German. Ich bin Deutsch. Yes. But Irish gangster, we are in an English channel, so please keep the conversation and chat in English.
Yeah, because I don't know how to read German at all. So thank you for that.
Yeah. Alright, Mimic Cave does not have anything. Just 20 bucks.
Alright, we're gonna see what's in the big chest now. Big key! Tower of Terror! Well, there's another item we can go get.
Yeah, it opens the Hera big chest, yeah. We should not forget, we also have the swamp, we have seen the swamp big key. And at least Hitsuyan did not open the big chest. I don't know if Megawatt did. I don't think he has a swamp big key. Oh, he has it. Yeah, he might have opened it. So for Hitsuyan, that's also a one-off check he has left.
Yeah, both runners left the Swamp House big chest behind because they both did Swamp first before Ice.
Oh, yeah. So it's a one-off check for both.
Well, it's not a one-off check for Megawott because Megawott didn't do left side Swamp, but odds of him going back for that are still just about as likely. Anyway, Laser Bridge coming up here for Hitsuyan. Big key to Ice!
Ice! Next one-off check.
Small key to Dark Palace. That's number 5 total. 10 arrows. If it's rupees.
So, yeah, Hitsuyan will go out and float away. I think he's going to Port in Eastern now. He has 5 Port small... oh, no, he has 3 Port small keys, which is a lot. He has the Eastern big key. We can get lots of items in the Port Eastern area. Additionally, he has the green pendant and can turn that in. We haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, and with the Eastern Palace big key, he's definitely going to be doing that as well. Gonna opt to clear Eastern first.
That's interesting. And could potentially be bad, because if he would have intended to do Port, or to dip Port, he would have gone through the Dark World. So maybe he does not intend to dip Port, which would be bad for him, because there's an ice rod in there.
It's gonna be interesting to see where they go next. And yes, there was a pod small key in pod chat as a reminder. Pod is the last pendant. I quickly caught that on Megawatt's map check. Eastern is the final crystal.
Yeah, but that was pretty suspectable at this point.
Which means the big key to Ah, wait a minute. I can see what Hitsuyan's doing.
Yeah. He's suspecting that the big key to Port might be in GT, and he hopes to find the ice rod to clear Turtle Rock. Luckily, he has to go to Port to find his ice rod before going to GT, so he does not have to... well, I don't know if it's lucky for him.
He may not go into Pod until after until he's...
Yeah, he can't go. He can't go into GT before he has to check Port, so that's good for him. Because,
Yeah,
but he might last location pod.
that's the thing. And that's
Well,
what I'm worried about.
But otherwise, he does not have many locations left. He has those Ice Palace and Swamp big chests. He has Thieves Town big chest. What else? Spike Cave, and that's about it.
Yeah, there's not many options left to our runners.
So for him, going to pod with the item density of pod would make more sense than checking all those one-off checks.
Alright. Let's see what Hitsuyan does here when he checks this chest. We are going to see what the Armos Knights have. The Armos Knights have the big key to pod. That'll be huge. Master Sword now for Megawatt.
I just realized we might be able to have a GT Big Key guessing game because we still haven't found the GT Big Key and it might be in GT.
We may or may not have it, honestly, because keep in mind, we may play the game and yet no one will win because it's not even there to begin with.
Yeah. And we don't have the bot, so it would be an unofficial game.
I think we do have the bot, but at the same time, it's not gonna... I don't know how we'll track if it was not in GT.
Yeah. We could... yeah, it wouldn't be good to do an official game.
Tempered Sword on the Armos Knights!
That's nice. And the Armos give us the last crystal. The second to last crystal. Turtle Rock also has one.
Yep.
Alright, Hitsuyan is going to turn the green pennant and get his 3 items from the back of Sasha.
Green Pendant is just a singular rupee.
That's nice.
And what we have back here is a red potion, that's our 3rd bottle, a heart container, and another heart container.
Yeah, we have already seen that on Megawatt's side. Megawatt getting his 3rd Turtle Rock small key from the Hammer packs. And I think he'll go there now. Yeah, and Hitsuyan going to pod.
So this is unfortunate for Megawatt here. Could just finish GT against or Turtle Rock right now, and that will put him in a nice advantage here, having not to double to the dungeon. However, because we know that the Eastern Big Key is in Turtle Rock, that does mean Megawatt will have to climb the mountain again to get to Ganon's Tower.
Yeah, but we shouldn't forget he already has the advantage of already having done Castle Tower and Aghanim 1. Hitsuyan hasn't done that, so that's about 4 to 5 minutes Hitsuyan will need for that later.
Yeah, that is extra time banked in Megawatt's favor. So this race is still fairly close right now. But it's about to change pace here as soon as Hitsuyan checks the Bowlock side and gets that ice rod.
Yeah, and don't forget Hitsuyan will do a full clear of pod right now. Well, at least as much as he can. And then has to go all through Turtle Rock again, which takes some time. Then has to do pod again if he finds the big key somewhere. This race is far from over. I would even go as far as giving Megawatt an advantage right now.
Yeah, I've been inclined to agree that Megawatt does have the advantage here. But this is, of course, Randomizer. It's not... There's no lead until there is a go mode. And I don't think Megawott was able to fully check it out Palace of Darkness, so the Palace of Darkness big key could just be in here.
Yeah, he had, I think he had one key as he went in and found one other, so he had 2 keys. So he had to leave behind the vanilla big key chest and the harmless hallway.
And with the 4 small keys here, Hitsuyan can leave behind
Only the boss.
nothing. Yeah, he's leaving behind the boss because he doesn't have the big key for the boss, you're right.
Yeah, and he's going to go into the back first.
The Bari knocking off Megawott off his platform. It's annoying, but it does happen sometimes.
Yeah,
17 hearts for both runners, by the way. What the heck is
Yeah.
this nonsense?
Yeah, this sea is driving me crazy. I still think Megawott has the advantage here. But
It's
a close race.
it's a little hard to tell because they are so divergent. It's really gonna think up once they get through to Turtle Rock, I think, or past Turtle Rock and into Gans Tower.
Yeah, it should depend on. It depends on either on where the pod big key is and the GT big key, and I think we will see it which runner goes into GT first. Then we'll have an expectation. We can see then which runner should be in front.
Yeah, and as it stands, Megawatt does have the time advantage for doing Aghanim first. He also has a late game routing advantage, having done Aghanim earlier means that he can opt to do a save and quit at Palace of Darkness to warp straight to the pyramid with the mirror and the Aghanim portal active.
That's very true.
It's gonna take in a Death Warp here.
Yeah, Death Warp with 17 hearts and blue mail, not too much fun.
Oh! Why did he...
That's interesting. Yeah, okay. Why didn't he save and quit?
He did an overall Death Warp. I don't know why he did that.
Yeah.
Oh, that is brilliant! Hitsuyan was saving his portal!
Oh, yeah! You're right. Yeah.
That was brilliant!
So, if he finds the key up here, the pod big key, he'll have easier time to get in there. No, oh yeah, he can go into Turtle Rock now, pretty easy. Yeah, wow, that's Galaxy Brain play.
Oh man, this is why they are in the finals and I'm just here commentating. I would have not have thought about that at all.
Wow. Galaxy Brain play. Wow. And now, it's suddenly really close between those runners, because Megawott has done Aga 1 and Hitsuyan has done Eastern Palace. So Megawott will have one extra mountain climb and the Eastern Palace clear.
Oh man, that syncs up those times differences so much better though.
Yeah, it should be really close now. Wow.
And Chad is calling us off for not realizing this. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't see it. I did not see the play.
Yeah. But yeah, as you said, that's why we're just commentating and not playing right now.
Small key on the boss to Ice Palace.
Yeah.
And
Now
ladies and gentlemen, that is the last crystal of the map. We now are eligible to enter Ganon's Tower here. And we have a game we like to play. And we're going to put a little twist on this. We have 22 chests in the base of the Ganon's Tower. Only one of which can host the Ganon's Tower Big Key. But it may not be there because it's Key Sanity. Give us a number in chat. Tell us where you think the Big Key will be.
Yeah, and for extra points, tell us where you think the pot big key might be in GT. Alright, Hitsuyan entering GT. Meanwhile, Megawatt gets Trinex down. But before he can enter GT, he will have to finish Eastern first.
Let's see what we have here in the Hope Room as we wrap things up here. 5 rupees. And the big key, to this dungeon! There is Ganon's Tower's big key, folks!
And who guessed the number 2 first? Let's see.
I'm gonna scroll up and read this. I'm not sure our bot caught the name.
Noble Barnes guessed it first.
Yep.
Congratulations.
Yeah, this is Key Sanity, so we couldn't exactly play the game proper, but I appreciate the effort here. Guesses are still on the table, though, for where you guys think the pod big key is. If it's even in here.
Yeah, it could be on Pyramid Ferry, because Pyramid Ferry is open right now.
That is true.
Okay, number 6 isn't it? So we go on.
Pod big key for go mode now for Hitsuyan.
Yeah. But at this point we finish up everything in here, even if we don't find it, because it would mean one more climb up the mountain if we check something else before finishing up GT. So we go in here first. We might even do the AGA 1 play just after it, because it makes checking Red Bomb easier.
Nothing in Dark Magician Room? I'm gonna be honest, I still can't believe we both missed the fact that we saved this portal.
Yeah. I hadn't even thought about that.
Neither did I. Alright. Nothing so far here in Ganon's Tower related to the boss key to pod. And it could be in one of our one-off locations we left behind in the other dungeons too. We don't know that.
Yeah. I think we have 4 big chests left. He might mirror out after checking all the chests here in the basement and do the Hera big chest.
He might.
If he doesn't find... Yeah, would be fastest way to check that.
Here in Random Room, 3 bombs, 300 rupees, 3 more bombs, and 20 rupees. Tempered Sword now from Megawatt as well. That is his 7th crystal. He is now eligible to enter Ganon's Tower. And at this point, the best play for Megawatt to make is to just go straight up, I think. Because so far, it's looking like the back doesn't have the big key piles of darkness.
Yeah, but that's a gamble he won't do.
I agree. I understand that as well.
Yeah.
But in terms of the time sink, I think that's what Megawatt needs in order to get the edge on this race.
Well, don't forget AGA 1.
That is true. He still has AGA 1. But if it comes down to a hunt, and the big key pod is not here, then he's got to find it first, and that lead could be easily eaten up by difference in checks. There's the last pod small key.
Yeah.
Which is actually the worst thing that Megawott wanted Hitsuyan to find, because now Hitsuyan can enter the front door and get to the boss that much faster.
Yeah, but this also opens up various locations for the big key to be in pod itself. Because this opens up the vanilla big key chest.
That's true. Megawott also saved the portal?
Alright, Hitsuyan goes up without checking tile room and without mirroring out to check the Hera big chest. And
he did see Hitsuyan check the Ganis Hera big chest at the very least, so we know it's not there.
He checked that. He did not check the tile room, and he did not check the Hera big chest.
Megawatt's about to get the Ganon's Tower big key. And it's going right. And it's not checking tower room. So just based on positioning and pacing of the match thus far, man, it's just dead even. It's so close.
Yeah, Hitsuyan maybe has a small lead, but I don't think it's more than a minute max.
I think with the Ganon's Tower climb, it's about 3 minutes, which is the same as the Agate Tower climb. I think a full clear is about 5 minutes total of Ganon's Tower. So based on what we have here, it looks like we do have. It's way too close to call. We're gonna have to wait for them to be in Palace of Darkness at this point.
Yeah, I think best move for Hitsuyan would be to make Aga1 play just right now after he finished the GT. Because that makes Red Bomb easier. He can also just save and quit after pot to be on the pyramid, and he's in the area.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be a photo finish between these two. That's for sure. There's the big key. To Skullwood.
Skullwood's next one-off check. Wow.
And gold sword.
What a sword.
Oh, the Javade is real there.
This seed.
And that's another check that we have to do.
That's a fourth big chest we have left somewhere. We have Swamp, Ice, Skullwoods, and Thiefstown big chests.
There it is. That was the last big key.
There it is.
That's Gobo for Hitsuyan, and we can pretty much tell based on this that it's gonna be extremely close.
Yeah. And now Hitsuyan will definitely do Aga 1 after finishing GT. Then run over to do port and then save and quit back to do Ganon.
At this point, Megawott is bleeding time, but he doesn't know it.
Yeah. Let's hope for him that he also skips tile room, because that could very well be the difference if he doesn't.
Yeah, Tower is like 30 seconds auto-scroller. I don't think he's gonna do it. Alright, first name of the first when it comes to Aghanim here. 6 shots to win. The clones will always shoot an orange shot. Aghanim can still shoot a blue shot, and he has dropped his lightning attack.
Yeah. To answer question in chat, it's the pot Bicky was in the chest directly before Muldom 2.
Alright. And here are the Ice Armors. And the only reason why we don't call this all bosses is because Ice Armors does not need to fall in most cases when it comes to all dungeons. At least in Randomizer.
Alright, Hitsuyan, what are you going to do? Yeah, he's doing Aga 1.
That's right. And as a reminder, folks, even though we had to beat Aghanim 2, this is all dungeons. Aghanim 1 and all the pendants need to be collected as well.
Yeah, and this is one major difference between our runners. Megawott already has done Aga 1. So as soon as Hitsuyan finishes Aga 1, we will see the difference between our runners, because Megawott will finish GT, and we can see who will be on the pyramid first.
It's gonna be a mad dash here.
Yeah, and Megawott indeed skipped tile room, so he's on his climb. He just begun it. I think he should be 1 or 2 minutes behind Hitsuyan at this point, because the GT climb is longer than the Aga 1 climb.
I can agree with you, but at the same time, I feel it's a lot closer than that. Like, I want to say they're within a minute, maybe. It's way too hard to tell without seeing someone on the pyramid, waiting for them to be synced up.
Yeah, we'll see in a few minutes.
But Hitsuyan is just blazing through, already on the final floor of Aga Tower. Yeah, at this point I'd say it goes to Hitsuyan based on where he is.
Yeah, and Aga 1
will be on the pyramid first.
Aga 1 was kind of friendly, just 2 blue balls, if I remember correctly. And Megawott having problems with Lambo 2.
Yeah, Megawott has not had great Lambo-less fights this seed. And Buttersword is at the top again in his tower, too. So Megawott will be checking that in hopes of finding the pod big key, which is also up here.
Yeah, he will also be baited with a Skullwood's big key first.
There's
well, to make things interesting, Hitsuyan is only on 4 hearts. If he makes a blunder and gets hit by something multiple times, it could get interesting.
Yeah, but once the Gaga falls, he will get the full heal, so that doesn't really matter too much.
Yeah, I just meant about having to redo Aga 1 climb and so on, but yeah, at this point he has slayed Aga 1.
Yep.
And he appears on the pyramid at 147.45. So
yeah,
now
and Megawott is maybe about
1.5 minutes. Yeah.
1.5 to 2 minutes behind. There's Gomo for Megawott. Struggling to escape the cage there.
Yeah, that's saving the portal. That really saved Hitsuyan.
And a fall off of the Molder and 2 arena.
Yeah. Oh, will he try to attempt to hover? No, he doesn't.
No. Definitely impatience showing though.
Yeah, he knows he has done something like last location, so he expects Hitsuyan to be done at any moment now. So
And both runners at this point, given the fact we had swords on the boss and the silver arrows being a fairly free location, pretty safe to say that both runners can assume that they are on tempered, if not a gold sword by now with the silver arrows. So Megawott
yeah,
does have that feeling. Well, most likely that feeling that they are feeling behind, or at least if they are behind, they are not catching up at this point.
yeah, Hitsuyan with his late ice rod, although he saved the bottle, he still might feel behind with his turtle rock double dip.
And Chad is
Yeah,
actually bringing up a good point here. The main thing that happened here was Megawatt's death in front of Hype Cape. If he did not die there, he would have had the mirror and the flute so much earlier than Hitsuyan.
Oh yes, would have made
That would have
routing
definitely
much
ended
easier for him.
a lot sooner.
Yeah, would have saved him lots of time through routing. Yeah, and he arrives on the pyramid 2 minutes and 10 seconds after Hitsuyan. And he doesn't run over to port, which I think could have been wouldn't have done too much time difference. He flutes over.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter if the choice was on Megawatt because Hitsuyan was going to be doing Beard and did Aghanim anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, here we go with the Helm Sword King fight here. 18 hearts, Bloom Hill. This is just pretty much a breeze here.
Yeah.
And 2 slashes of Gold Sword. 1 and good night.
Yeah. And just saw chat's making another good point. Megawott also almost last located the hammer.
Yeah, that would do it too. But anyway, folks, that is the gold met there for Hitsuyan. He is about to go fight Ganon and end this series here.
Unless something terrible happens to him.
Yeah, Megawatt needs a miracle right now. Save warp to the pyramid. And it's time to fight the pig. Gold sword and silver arrows in hand. It'll be 6 slashes for the first 2 phases here in the Ganon fight to advance Ganon to phase 3, after which it is just a single slash after Ganon decides to stop teleporting. The fake teleports are seeded for fairness for both runners, so they'll have the same RNG there. And after 4 slashes there, they'll begin the darkness technique. Keep the torches lit, don't fall in the pits. Stun Ganon with the sword, and let loose 4 silver arrows. Megawatt though, or Hitsuyan rather, extremely low on health. Very risky phase 2 there.
Well, he should have a red potion. They picked one up, I think, on in the back of Sasha, I think. And
at this point, though, Hitsuyan's got this locked down.
Yeah.
Gave me a near heart attack there. Or one more hit would have been of death.
Yeah. One Ganon hug would also mean a death at this point.
Alright, that's the 3rd hit in phase 3. 4th hit. We'll most likely get a free silver shot here. There it is.
And he gets
It's
the
a torch
glitch. Should be a single.
It's gonna be
Next
4
single.
singles here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And ladies and gentlemen, with that silver arrow, get your G's in the chat for Hitsuyan and Team Awesome.
Yes, our defending champ will advance to
They
the
are now going to be the winners of the Dark World Conference and will move on to the grand finals of the league with a first place time of 1 hour and 53 minutes flat.
Yeah, congratulations to Hitsuyan, to Yoshi, and to Ramon.
Vendrina Drifters, 2nd place in the Dark World Conference. Definitely not out. Definitely going down fighting though.
Yeah, they showed us a lot of really great races, and yeah, congratulations to them too for a very nice season.
And we're about to begin the Ganon fight here for Megawatt.
Yeah,
Same deal, gold sword, silver arrows.
Yeah, we're gonna wait with the interviews till Megawott is done, so we can concentrate on his Ganon fight for now. And there he also is in phase 3.
Yep. Extra hits on Ganon in this phase does not matter, by the way, folks. You're just doing that for extra swag.
And now it should be phase 4.
It's a silverless hit there, I think. That's a double.
Oh, very nice.
And that's a perfect setup for a double right there.
Yeah.
And ladies and gentlemen, get your GGs in chat for Megawatt. Finishing strong here for the Fendrine Drifters, but they will be going home the Dark World Conference runner-up. GGs to them once again. And they will be clocking in with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 55 minutes, and 5 seconds. And we are now joined by Hitsuyan, the winner of this race, the champion of the Dark World Division with him and his team. GG's to you, sir.
GG's, guys. Thank you.
Yeah, and first thing we have to say, what a brilliant play about saving that portal.
Yeah, we completely messed it up in the booth.
Yeah, I was a bit lucky because it was also possible that the ice ward is maybe in Aga Tower. Then I could don't do Aga 1 to save the portal. But I did every mirror check, I think. Had only big chest swamp. That was the only gamble. And then I tried to get the ice ward in TR and then saved my portal. But then it wasn't pot, unfortunately.
Yeah, so we do want to mention this to you, Hitsuyan. You were actually the first one to get the flute and the mirror from Hype Cave, but you weren't the first one to open it. Megawatt was actually just moments away from getting it, but unfortunately was low on health and thus died in the overworld there in front of Hype Cave before he can get inside.
So we went instant to the Dark World with the mids and...
Yeah, and it was about, I think, more than 20 minutes till he went back to Hype Cave.
We'd feel pretty good about doing mini Moldom Cave first. So I got Firewat and stuff. Then I sequence break the mountain to get maybe a sword. And maybe Thiefstone Bicky or something. So when I go to the Dark World, I could check more stuff in one way. That's what I tried. But then there was everything in Hype Cave, like mirror and flute. And then the hammer was very good for me, I think.
Yeah, that's
the hook shot over there.
That's the other thing. Megawatt almost last located his hammer, so yeah. But to talk about this seed was loaded.
Yeah, the seed was extremely front-loaded with items, and the keys were just sprinkled throughout. Also, the maps were really dumb in this seed.
What did we have? 4 or 5 French vanilla maps in their respective dungeons?
Yeah, and a couple of them were
also trolling.
Doing the dungeons too. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
Every time when I enter the dungeon, I finding the map from the dungeon or from the dungeon before or something.
Yeah, we never did find the red mail. At this point, we could probably assume that it was in one of the chests that was in pod, or maybe one of the chests you left behind. Looks like, by the way, folks, that Megawatt will not be joining us for an interview, but GG's to him and GG's to Fendrine Drifters for putting on an excellent show series for us here, and just an excellent play overall in this league. Second place in the Dark World Conference is nothing to sneeze at here. They are definitely one to watch next time they come around. But yeah, you meanwhile, Hitsuyan and Team Awesome, defending your title here with the Season 1 champions, up against Team Kappa, who is basically in the same location as you in terms of the conference. Both of you are in that same region. It's going to be the Lost Woods division versus the Skullwoods division to wrap things up here for the league.
Yeah, I try to defend the title, of course, but it will be hard. Interesting matches, and it's 50-50 every match, I think. So let's see who wins this at the end.
It's going to be an exciting innings finale to wrap things up here, folks. That's going to be intermittent across the end of next week. We of course, these Team Awesome and Team Kappa still need to decide when they're going to have their matches, as they only just now finished, of course. So keep an eye on the schedule, folks, for the league. We'll have those matches for you sometime next week. And speaking of keeping your eyes on the schedule, make sure, of course, to follow SpeedGaming 236 so you don't miss any racing action, not just the Link to Past Randomizer League. And of course, make sure to follow Megawott and Hitsuyan1337 in here for putting on an excellent race for us today. And we do also host a few of these races on the ALTTPR League when we have just things that are a little bit too busy here for their Speed Gaming to host us. We have the ALTTPR League and the ALTTPR League 2 through 4 as well. And of course, make sure to also follow Bigfoot, my co-commentator, did an excellent job on the mic today. Thank you for joining me. And of course, our tracker, Regaru, as well. And I've been Wolflink, of course. And from all of us here at the Link to Best Randomizer League, we will see you all next time for the grand finals of the league. See you all then, and thank you for watching. Have a good night, everyone.
Yes, good night.
Good night, guys.